Hi everyone, my name is Marinko Spasojevic, and in this video I'll show you how to increase the security of your web APIs and also improve the authentication flow with the user lockout functionality. This feature is really important to have because with it we are preventing and blocking potentially malicious users attempting to compromise user accounts by brute force methods of guessing username and password combinations. Since this feature is related to password reset flow, I will also show you how to improve that by blocking unwanted words in the user's passwords. It is an easy feature to implement, so let's see how to do it. First, I will extend the configuration in the program file. So let's use the option parameter and use the lockout property to allow the user lockout functionality for new users. Also, I will use the same lockout property and call the default lockout time span property and set the lockout time span to 2 minutes. Lastly, I want to restrict the maximum failed attempts to 3. If the user tries to log in 3 times in a row unsuccessfully, I want their account locked out. Now, before I move on, I would like to let you know about our Ultimate ASP.NET Core Web API book that you can use to master all the best practices to create powerful, production-ready web APIs. Also, check out our Blazor course to create client C# apps without using JavaScript. The links are in the description below. Now, let's extend our login action to support this as well. So, I will remove this password check here, and before I do the password validation, I will check if the user is locked out using the user manager's isLockedOut async method. If that's the case, I will return the unauthorized response with the auth response DTO class, where I will set the error message property to the account is locked out. Then I can check for the password validation using the user manager's check password async method, where I have to provide the user and the password. If this fails, the first thing I want to do is increase the number of failed attempts in the database with the access failed async method. Then I will check if the user is locked out, and I will do that by calling the isLockedOut async method with the user as an argument. If the user is locked out, I will prepare a message to inform them that they are indeed locked out and that they can reset the password by using the forgot password link. Also, I need to set up the email message object using the message class and provide the user's email, the title, the content, and I will set null for the attachment argument. Of course, I want to send the email using an email sender service and the send email async method so the user can see it and know what's happening. Finally, I will return the not authorized response and use the auth response DTO class for the response body, where I will populate the error message property with the account is locked out message. Of course, if the password is wrong, but the user is not locked out, I will simply return invalid authentication as a result. Okay, with this done, let's test it. I will use the already prepared Postman request with the wrong password here, and once I send this one, I get the invalid authentication error message. Let's pause here for the moment and check our database. We can see the access failed count column has incremented. Now, if I try to log in 2 more times with the incorrect password, I get the account is locked out message. And I can check an email, and we can see it here with the proper information. Now, if I even try to log in with the right password, I will also get the account is locked out message because the lockout lasts for 2 minutes. That said, let's check the database once again. Now, we can see that the lockout end field has a timestamp, and that our access failed count field has been reset. Of course, once 2 minutes pass, we can safely log in again. Excellent. But there is a small thing I need to take care of. If the user enters a wrong password 2 times in a row, and then enters a good one, the number of failed attempts will still be 2. This is something I want to avoid, since the user clearly remembered the password or had typed it correctly. To do that, I have to modify the login action by adding one line of code right before I return OK response. Here, I will again use the user manager service and call the reset access failed count async method and provide the user as an argument. Now, if I use the wrong password, the count will increase. But if I enter the correct password before I lock out the account, the count resets for sure. Okay, let's continue. Right now, after the lockout action, the user can reset the password by clicking the Forgot Password link on the login page. I implemented this feature in one of my previous videos from this identity series. But even then, the user must wait for the lockout to expire to be able to log in again. Well, this is also something I want to change. I want to enable the account as soon as the password reset action is completed. To do that, let's modify the reset password action. So, if I reset the password successfully, I want to reset the lockout end date with the set lockout end date async method. This method will modify the lockout end column in the database. It's up to you to decide if you need this or not. Again, if you didn't watch that video where I implemented the reset password functionality, I strongly recommend you do that. The link will be in the description below. Great. Now, the final thing I promised to show you is how to add a custom validation of the user passwords. In this case, I want to prevent users from having the username the same as the password, and also prevent them from adding the password word as part of their password. First, I want to create a new class here and name it Custom Password Validator. This class must be a generic one, and it must inherit from the iPasswordValidator T-user interface. I will also add a constraint here for a T-user parameter to be only of a class type. Now I can implement the interface and add the async keyword here. Inside the method, I will extract the username from the current user using the getUsername method, and let's provide the user as an argument. Once I have a username, I can check if the username and the password are equal, and of course, I will ignore the casing here. If that's the case, let's return an identity result.failed, and here I need to provide a new identity error class as an argument, where I will populate the description property and the code property. Also, I can check if my password, and let's make it lowercase, contains the word password. And again, if this is the case, I will return the same result with differently populated properties. Finally, if everything is okay, I will return identity result.success. Now, with this class prepared, I have to register this custom validator. So here, I will attach another method named addPasswordValidator, and for the generic type parameter, I will provide my custom validator class with the generic user type parameter. And that's it. Now, let's run the app and verify this works as expected. First, I will send the forgot password request. And you can see the 200 OK response, and I can check my email, and you can see the token here. Now, I can use it to send the reset password request. But please pay attention that my password contains the word password in it. Okay, let's send this one. And as you can see, I get a correct response. Excellent. This works great. And you saw how in a few easy steps we can improve our authentication logic and overall security of our web APIs. Thank you for watching, and if you liked the video, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe buttons, and the bell button to receive notifications of my future videos. This helps a lot in supporting my work and the channel as well. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you again in the next one. Until then, all the best.